Welcome everyone to another episode of Indie Hangout. I am Pneumatics. You may know me over on YouTube or over on Twitch with an extra X at the end. I am of course joined by my amazing co-hosts, Maz and Kronos. What's up, guys?
What's going on, guys? Maz from Maztech Gaming. Maztech Gaming over on YouTube. Maztech_gaming over on Twitch, and Maztech_gaming VODs on YouTube as well.
How's it going, everybody? Kronos here. You can find me on YouTube and Twitch at OSOK Kronos.
All right, so diving into some big news and some hype in the indie scene, and being that this episode's going to be airing on the 4th of September, we're right in the beginning of when all the fun stuff's going to start happening. And even when some of it has passed, which, everyone's going to be playing a lot of these games, I feel. So if you guys haven't noticed, if you guys haven't heard, well, I'm sure you guys have, it's funny to hear when an indie game is making the biggest buzz in gaming. So, and even to the point where some other games are postponing their release date because of this game. So one of the major games that's coming out is Hollow Knight Silksong. It's supposed to release today on this recording. So this has prompted several other indie devs to delay their games, as I said. Titles like Clover Pit, Phaland, Anternia, Lucius, and others that, funny enough, we were talking about some of them in the episode prior to this one. Have you guys, Maz, Kronos, have you guys heard of this one? Have you played the original Hollow Knight? And I know we've talked about it a few times, but have you played it at all? Maz?
Oh yeah. I have the original Hollow. It's a Souls type for sure. It's definitely difficult for sure. Comes out today, and I don't know if I agree necessarily with everybody holding off. I mean, this is a blockbuster game. This is highly anticipated because Hollow Knight is probably, I would dare argue, probably one of the most successful indie releases ever. I mean, I'm thinking a couple of different games. I'm thinking obviously Minecraft being probably the biggest. And then you've got Stardew that's massive. Hollow Knight's in that company with those types of games for sure. So I understand a lot of these developers kind of holding back, but the game's $20. It's coming out in $19.99, I believe. There's a lot of sources, at least, that indicate it based on searches that it's going to come out at $19.99. Usually on Steam, you'll find that there's a lot of, hey, 10% off the first week kind of thing to just kind of get those sales rocking and rolling, get the blood flowing, which I don't think they're going to need. So they actually might not even do that, to be honest with you. They might just be like, hey, $19.99 right up front.
Probably,
but again,
man.
Yeah, it's $19.99. So, I mean, usually I don't know about you guys, but when I pick up new games, I'm anticipating a new game, I'm putting the money aside for that. I mean, I've got money aside waiting for Final Fantasy Tactics Ivalice Chronicles to come out already, and that's a $50 game. And that comes out September 30th. If I want another game, I'll have the money for it by then as well. So I don't know if is it an affordability thing, or let's just wait a week or two because people are going to be focusing on just playing Hollow Knight Silksong. I mean, what do you guys think?
I don't know. I think that's the biggest thing, man, is the price is like, it's not much. It's just $20. I mean, it's not like how we always talk about prices of these games going up. This game is one of the biggest ones, and we don't even have to worry about it being a $60 game. And obviously, a lot of people who play the types of games like this are going to enjoy it. But buying this one, I think it's awesome, the price point, because we don't have to worry about any other games after that we're going to be buying up and putting a huge dent in our wallets,
I do. And as I was saying what I was saying, I was thinking about what Kronos had said a few episodes back. Now, Kronos, and I'm going to turn this back over to you. I'm sorry if I cut you off there. I remember you specifically saying that you'll buy games up and forget about them for a while. They'll just sit on the shelf and sit on the shelf. And I'm wondering now that I'm saying this, kind of backtracking, maybe that's why these developers are waiting, because they're afraid that their game's not going to get the exposure. On top of that, maybe not the financial portion of it, versus people aren't going to play it as readily because Hollow Knight's going to take precedence there.
Yeah, Maz, I mean, I'll spend a lot of time, like buying games, and then I'll forget about those games because like a major title release, and they'll get like backseated and I won't play them for a while. And then by the time I get bored with that main game, a lot of times another one's coming out and I'll start that one, and it just keeps piling up, like games that I haven't played. Like I'm looking at like 15 games right now that I got that I've yet to play. So I could see them, wanting to hold off, like, hey, let this game release, let the hype build up, and maybe just simmer down a little bit. Probably after the first week, and then like, hey, we'll throw our game out then, to where people are like, okay, I'm getting a little bored with this game, or I've played everything I can. Let me start looking for another title to play.
Yeah, especially because, obviously Hollow Knight Silksong, I mean, I don't know how long the game was or how long the game is, but in general, the type of game it is, I don't know, it's not like an open world. It's going to be hours upon hours of gameplay in there. At some point, people are going to be completing it, getting all the achievements they can, and they're going to be done with it. And like you said, then they'll be jumping on to the other releases that they were excited for.
And another thing, though, just to touch on, based off of like our prior episodes that we were talking about, like pricing and stuff, how like some games see success, and then next they're like, hey, well, what if we charge this much?
Yeah.
The original Hollow Knight is $15.
Oh, so
with the new one being rumored at 20, though, they're already, hey, we had so much success with our first one, let's just charge $20 for this one instead. So what's the next one going to be? 25, 30?
It very well may be, because Hollow Knight came out in 2017 at $15. So, I mean, to kind of go up with market prices, I mean, $20 sounds almost, I mean, the same, right? Kind of.
Yeah, that is true.
Kind
You
of,
think
sort of
about,
speaking,
like,
right? Yeah.
Yeah. I was thinking it was a newer release. I'll be honest with you, I've never played it, so I was thinking it was a newer release, like last year or so.
Oh no,
yeah.
no, it's been around for it's been around for a minute for sure.
It's probably about as much hype behind that. Well, obviously, way more hype for Hollow Knight than the game Deltarune, the Chapter 4 that came out. There was a lot of hype behind that one too. Obviously, not as much as Hollow Knight, but similar things with that. I mean, yeah, a $5 uptick. I don't think that's terrible for how long it's
8
been
years
since
later?
it came out. Yeah. I mean, with inflation and all that and whatever, but it's not bad. Honestly, it's not like he went from 15 to 60 or 15 to 50 sometimes. Some of these indie games are coming out and they're trying to charge $50 plus, which is, I mean, if it's so hard. We've talked about it before. It's like gauging the pricing of games and what their value is and all that. And it's kind of like going back into that. Well, if you played a $20 game, but you got 100 hours out of it, the value is obviously there. So it's like, if that game was originally priced for 60, would you still be mad? Would you be mad about it? You got your playtime out of it and you really enjoyed it.
Here's a little fun fact for you guys. Are you familiar with usinflationcalculator.com?
No,
Probably not.
Never used it. Nope.
Probably
yeah,
not.
all the time, Maz.
Yeah,
all the time.
I use it all the time, but I'll be honest with you, it pisses me off. It's probably why. It's kind of like, hey, what was it? What was this worth here that it is now? Okay, you could type in different parameters, and with this one, it goes all the way back to 1913. So I can tell you right now that a dollar, well, in 1913, $14.99 is the equivalent of $489.14 and 25. Okay, which is crazy, right?
Wow.
Here's the thing.
That's insane.
So since 2017, especially with, usually inflation goes up 2% every year, but COVID hit. And we did, as a government, did not handle it well. Not going to get into a political discussion. But
right.
Since 2017, cumulative rate of inflation is 31.8%. $14.90. If in 2017 I purchased an item for $14.99, then in 2025 that same item would cost $19.76. It is 100% on point with the same price that they were charging in 2017. Plus,
that's insane.
They kind of snuck 23 cents additional out of it, so I don't know how I feel about that. I'm kidding about that. But,
they're still trying to get to
yeah, 19. They should have charged 1976. The bastards. No, I think So I mean, it's right on point. 8 years later, what was $15 in 2017 is the equivalent of $19.76. It's right on what they were doing last time. So if they factored the inflation in, I don't know if they did that on purpose, but who cares? I mean, it works. And quite honestly, Hollow Knight, you just said it yourself, Pneumatics. There's a lot of games, these indie gamers that get really popular and they try to charge more, and some of them can get away with it. This is a $40, $50 game. They can get if you put a $40, $50 price tag on Hollow Knight Silksong, people are going to pay it.
Yeah. Did you play? So I'm assuming you didn't play the original. Did you, Kronos?
No, I have not played it.
So what do you guys think? Is this something that we would play? I don't know. Like for me, for instance, I don't know if I never played the original, and I'll be honest, I was a little surprised by the hype behind this. I didn't know there was such a loyal fan base behind Hollow Knight. I kind of knew, but I didn't know it was this strong. So that with this Silksong coming out, it's like
Oh, yeah.
I nonstop scrolling, and seeing all the announcements and people hyped up for it. I was like, holy crap! I didn't know this like was so big, in the indie scene. I mean, I knew it was a big game, but not that big. So I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know if I'd be playing it though. I mean, I can see like you said, Maz. It's like it probably isn't my type because it's got that Souls-like vibe to it. I mean, that challenging, I know it has challenging boss fights and stuff like that. I don't know. I still don't know. It would be like if it was gifted to me, I'd probably play it, but to buy it out of my own money, I don't know if I would because I don't know when I would get to it.
Right. So I wouldn't say that it does have some Souls like vibe to it, okay?
Yeah.
But if and that's when it comes to the boss fights, they're very, very challenging. It's a patience thing. It's a pattern, but at the same time, you're playing at its pace, not the other way around. Okay, it controls the pace.
Yeah.
This is a Metroidvania. If we're looking at what is the genre or subgenre of this game, it is 100% through and through a Metroidvania. And if that's your type of game, then great. If not, then you probably won't enjoy it. But it has a massive following. It's extremely well done. It's beautiful, hand drawn, and it also has a lot of really cool game mechanics and upgrades and RPG elements as well into that Metroidvania. So if you're into that kind of thing, I think I think you'd be attracted to it new just because it's got some nice RPG elements to it, but probably not your overall cup of tea. I mean, you're not farming or fishing in it.
Yeah, damn it. There's no fishing or farming. I say nay.
There you go.
You said just not for me.
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you guys say? You gonna play it? You gonna play it, Miss?
I'll probably give it a try at some point. It's not high on my list. I have the original. I've played the original. I've played through it. I've enjoyed it. Metroidvanias are not my go-to type game. I do like my RPGs. I like my RPGs, my action RPGs. I like button mashers. I like fighting games. Like beat 'em ups. Those are fun too. I like story-driven games. Some first-person, not necessarily first-person shooters, but I play Skyrim in first person. I play Fallout in first person. Playing High on Life on my channel right now, first person. Good story driven. And there's some good story to Hollow Knight, but the Metroidvania is not, it's never really been my go-to side scroller type thing.
Gotcha.
This game almost reminds me of like the older Rayman games. I don't know if either one of y'all ever played that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
played Rayman a couple times back in the day.
Rayman had this same art style in a way, like the darker background, but then the characters were more vibrant colors, trying to make them stand out, more.
Yeah, I can see it.
Good news, Maz. It's coming out on Game Pass.
Oh, really? Okay, that
Wow.
kind of
Yeah.
changes it up, right?
I was gonna say the
Yeah.
same. Changes it.
Yeah, and literally, if you look at it on Xbox, it says right there in the corner Game Pass, so which means it'll be available day one on Game Pass.
All right.
Very, very
Well,
cool.
I probably will play it then. I'll probably download
And the
it just to
original
play
is
it.
available on Game Pass new.
100% trying that out.
All right. Well, yeah. So
So, yeah.
I'm a liar. I will play it.
I'm probably gonna go try it out then. Yeah, I'm gonna try it out also.
There you
I mean,
go.
because like it's not my forte on games, but hey, if I ain't got to pay for it, I can just use my Game Pass to try it out. I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, this further Chronos kind of hits the point home that we've talked about over the months here, is that Game Pass is a game changer. It's a try it before you buy it type thing, right? Now, that's not
Yeah.
always going to stay on Game Pass, but let's say you guys, hey, it's not for me. You both just said, it's not really my thing. I'm going to get it at some point. You guys probably aren't going to get it. But now you both just got on board with playing. They just gained 2 new players because of Game Pass, and that's why there's so much value to Game Pass.
Man.
It really is a good buy when you think about it.
Yeah,
100%.
honestly.
But if you don't like it, you didn't lose $20. You lost 12 or 15 for the month, but you didn't because you could play 200 other games.
That's crazy, dude. So now that everyone knows it's on Game Pass, listeners, we were all a bit iffy. Now it's a for sure thing. So now that you know that as well, maybe you'll be able to download it, or if you want to, when it comes out today, and try it out, and even the original. So that's really cool. But as I stated earlier, it's also caused a lot of delays. And funny enough, one of the delays is from a game we talked about during our segment Smash or Pass on the last episode, which was Baby Steps. So if anyone doesn't know, Baby Steps is a game that, well, actually, better off Maz. Who's the developer of that again? One of the developers behind it, Bennett Foddy. Right. And funny enough, Baby Steps was supposed to come out earlier, but now it's not coming out until September 23rd. So they're literally giving it like an entire month, or 20 days, I should say, a little less than 20 days of time before they release. And they even did a funny little trailer stating why they were delaying. And it's literally the main guy in Baby Steps walking across a statue of the main character from Hollow Knight.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So if any of our listeners want to check that out, go check it over on YouTube or on Steam. You can just look up Baby Steps, and that first video will show the main character walking around the statue of the main character. It's funny. It's super funny that they did that, because it's like just solidifying, like, yeah, this is exactly why we're delaying it. Cool. All right. Bye.
Yeah, yeah. And, that makes sense if you think about it, the delay, right? What did we talk about last week? We talked about during our Smash or Pass, we talked specifically about this.
Yeah.
Getting over it with Bennett Foddy. That was one when you're in a barrel, you've got nothing but a sledgehammer, and you climb a mountain, and you fall all the way. You can fall all the way back to the beginning at any time. And you've got, and I don't know if you guys ever played it, but you've got Bennett Foddy in the background narrating it as you go to different places, like as you get to different heights. And he talks a lot of shit. He really does. It's like you fall down to the bottom. And he's like, and sometimes we just have to start all over again, don't we? It's like all calm, and you're like, F you. And it's like, it gets really, you get really pissed off. This is going to be this is going to be great for content. Okay. It's going to be great for streaming early on. I think a lot of people will tune in to see some rage bait type streams, but there's going to be a lot of people flipping out on YouTube and those types of videos. There are going to be millions upon millions of views for this. And Hollow Knight is considerably a bigger franchise than Getting Over It was, and that Baby Steps will be. I mean, I think that a lot of people listening to this, if they're not big in the gaming industry, I don't think they ever heard of, by this point, I don't think they may have ever heard of Getting Over It. Everybody's heard of Hollow Knight. They know what Hollow Knight is. We talk about it all the time. Like, not necessarily us, but the gaming community always mentions Hollow Knight. So for Baby Steps to get that type of exposure, it's smart for them to wait with Hollow Knight coming out, because Silksong is going to absolutely overshadow those types of games right now.
Yeah. And it's funny because I love it even more. We always talk, obviously, indie hangout podcast here. So we're always talking about indie games. But the fact that they made a trailer to say exactly why they're delaying in a funny way is just the fun things you get out of indie games, man. The fun little things, like, you would not see a big time AAA franchise game stating exactly why they're delaying because of another big game coming out. This is fun. This is awesome. I think this even makes it more so, like, more of a respectful thing, looking at this and be like, wow, that's funny. It might even look more into this game now because of that, because of the developers behind it, in my personal opinion.
That's exactly what I was about to say, New. Absolutely, completely agree with you on that 1,000%.
Like, the gaming community could use more of stuff like that.
Yeah, dude, for sure.
I don't know if y'all seen it or not, but it was an AI video that someone had made using the Battlefield 6 cover profile, and it was like the guy turned around and he was like, "Did y'all see that goofy Black Ops 7 trailer?" He's like, "Yeah, see you boys in October. We know where you'll be." And I'm like, people were like, DICE should release this as their trailer, and I'm like, if game communities would do, like, companies would do that, it would just drive the hype for these games through the roof.
That's awesome. I didn't hear about that, but that's awesome, dude. Yes, 100%. You're right. We need more of that stuff, man. I think it would too.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like Dice didn't do it themselves. Like somebody had just used the AI generator on their picture,
Okay.
but it literally was like it just made them talk about Black Ops, and I'm like, man, like if they had actually released that themselves, it would have been so funny.
Yeah, I love that, man. Well, Baby Steps is delayed. So anyone that was hoping to play it sooner than that, too bad. You're gonna have to figure out your frustration some other way in another game, in a different game. But it's pretty cool that they're gonna be releasing at least a week or so before, yeah, about a week or so before October, before all the spooky games come out, you know? It's probably like the perfect amount of time before the big spooky games start coming out in October, which of course for our listeners we'll be going over those as well. And real quick before I get into the next game that we talked about from last week. Oh, I actually don't think we talked about it. It doesn't matter. If you want to get in on the hype and some of the news that we'll be bringing forth before we release episodes, be sure to join our Discord. You could go and find it in our About section. Wherever you're listening to this podcast, go and click down there, jump in, and join in on the conversation with us. We'd love to have you there. So another game that was on the list. So if our listeners didn't know too, we had a long list of a bunch of different games that were coming out for the month of September. And obviously we only picked so many because we couldn't go through the whole list. I mean, we could have, but that would be the whole episode for Smash or Pass, which was a lot of fun. And we're definitely, all three of us have agreed, we're definitely going to be doing that segment a lot more with you guys as well. And even
Oh, yeah.
sharing some more with that in the Discord. So, but the another game that was on that list was Demon School. So that's another hyped game, I guess, that was delayed. And so like we have a list, like I said, that Clover Pit, Phelan, Anternia, Lucis, and then it was like slowly over time after making this list up, more games were being delayed. So Demon School and Baby Steps, and I'm sure there's more that I haven't even heard of. So it's just crazy to think of like we always talk about like, well, there was a one episode we talked about games shadow dropping. And we talked about Oblivion, if that affects games not releasing or getting screwed over and delays. It's just funny to hear about a game in the indie community. It's like a whole other segment, like the big wigs in the indie scene causing the smaller guys in the indie scene to delay. It's just kind of a weird scenario in my head, just thinking about it that way. But
And see, what was that game that released around the same time as Oblivion too? And it was like they made the joke about only one game released or something.
It was Claire
Oh.
Obscure.
yeah, no, yeah, you're right. Claire Obscure released as well. It was a puzzle. I know the game we talked about specifically, I don't remember, but I know it was a puzzle game and it had like old retro PS2 vibes to it.
Oh, that other one. Yeah, I'm trying to remember what that one was called. I know there were two of them. One of them that we talked about, and the other one was Claire Obscure Expedition 33. But it was the puzzle one that you were talking about that had kind of like, thank God there are no shadow drops or anything like that coming out. They tweeted something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah. So other than that, I was curious. I was curious, so I looked it up. I wanted to know, because of Hollow Knight and being a little bit surprised of how big of a game it was, I wanted to know how really how big of a game it is compared to all of the other all-time greatest indie games that popped out. And so the list goes as, and then we just I did a quick rank. We'll just go over the first 5 unless we want to go over more. But so of course, number 1, guys, my favorite game of all time. Just kidding, not of all time, but
Dude, lie.
Stardew Valley. We can't get through an episode without mentioning it. It is the number 1 ranked game for
I feel
indie
this
games.
list is biased.
Yeah, this is actually a pneumatics crafted list. This has
Yeah,
nothing
this
to do
is
with
top
rock.
10 indies of pneumatics time.
Pneumatics has his own LLM now. I got you.
Damn it, you guys! You're not supposed to say anything. So Stardew is number 1, released back in 2016. Obviously, everyone knows about it. And yeah, other than that, number 2, I was like, what else to say about that? It is what it is. Everyone knows. Number 2 is Hollow Knight. So honestly, I didn't even know Hollow Knight was ranked number 2 amongst a top 10 feature here of all indie
It's an
games.
absolute beast, yeah.
And then I had talked briefly, remember I was just saying about Deltarune and Chapter 4, the same creator, Toby Fox, he created Undertale. That's number 3 ranked back in 2015.
Yep. I can't believe it's been 10 years already. And to be honest with you, like Silksong being as popular as it is, look where Hollow Knight ranks here in the top 5 that we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Remember, when Deltarune came out, it was pretty well hyped as well. And Undertale here at number 3.
Yeah, no lie, man, because I remember it's so weird when, as a gamer, not being in that in crowd, and then as streamers as well, we have communities that will bring this into our view, into our attention. And I had that with my community telling me about Deltarune, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, is it that big of a game? I don't know. I guess. Yeah, cool. It's coming out. Awesome. And then to see a list like this, I'm like, oh, wow. Okay. Yeah, no, it is a big deal.
Exactly.
So the next one, number 4, Celeste. I hear so many good things about Celeste. Have you guys played that one?
Celeste is incredible. It's another type of Metroidvania game. It's got some different mechanics. It can be frustrating. I do enjoy and get frustrated by games that punish you when you die. There are some games that you can go and just, there's no punishment. You just kind of start back at your last checkpoint. You have everything. Some things take things away, and some things make you start way back. And this is one of those games that make you start way back in some cases if you've gotten to a certain checkpoint throughout, but lots of fun. That's definitely a recommended game for sure.
Yeah. It's funny. I've heard so much about Celeste that it was a game that I'm like, yeah, maybe I'll go and check it out. Maybe I'll actually buy it. And it's funny enough that it's one of the newer games, well, besides this next one, in terms of release date. So that was back in 2018 that one released. So it's funny enough, like the next one here on the list is Hades. I remember Hades coming out and people praising it left and right. And I remember looking at it and it kind of reminded me of that, that top-down parallax kind of style. And it was giving me Diablo vibes, if I'm going to be honest, with the way it looked and the way it was playing. So I never played it though. And it's funny enough, out of all of these on the list, the only game I played is number 1. So if we continue down, number 7 is Outer Wilds. I played that one. Number 9 is Terraria. I played that one. So 3 out of the top 10 games that are on the list, these are all really good. And it's funny because I would like to say most of these are 2D games. Yeah, most of them are 2D games. You got Outer Wilds is a 3D game. I don't even know Return of the Obra Dinn, a puzzle game. I've never heard of that game. So
never heard of that either. They're
number
making it up.
8. Yeah, number 8 on the list. Listeners, let us know if you've heard of that one. I was like, as I'm reading it off, what is this thing? It's a puzzle
that's
game.
my favorite game ever. Have you guys ever played The Return of Obra Dinn? So good.
It's so
Never heard of it. Never heard of it.
We're probably triggering someone who loves that game right now.
Yeah, there's somebody right now pulling on their hair, but I love Obra Dinn.
I love Obra Dinn.
Screw you for saying that.
Game should be number 1. They don't know what they're talking about.
Right. He ate my ass. Number 1.
Number 1. I guess in this game you reconstruct a ship and events using logic and magic watch. I mean, sounds cool.
Sounds like new.
I guess so.
I guess. I mean,
it's the guy that hates puzzle games saying it sounds cool.
Game, yeah.
Good point.
Did you hear the offness in my voice when I said it?
Just a little bit though.
I read off a puzzle
it sounds
game.
Cool.
Yeah. You lie.
Oh my god.
Well, here's the thing, real quick. Speaking of puzzle games, by the way, post-trauma is what we were talking about earlier.
Yes.
Came back to me.
Good stuff, man.
One thing I like about
I feel like I go against the grain.
What's that?
Oh, I feel like I go against the grain on this because all the indie games I play are none of these on the list. I have never played a single one of these.
Oh man. Well, a lot of these don't kind of. A lot of them are RPG puzzles. I don't see a lot of first-person shooters here. I don't see a lot of first-person anything here, bro. No multiplayer.
Out.
Well, there's Terraria. Terraria's multiplayer. I think that Hades is not multiplayer. That's single player, believe it or not. Even though it does have that type of Diablo type vibe to it, and you can play that multiplayer. One thing I gotta say about the artwork is you guys remember playing Dragon's Lair when you were younger?
Dude, was that don't tell me.
Uh,
Was that a computer game? You put it was on a disc and you put it in your computer to play?
So you could do that. It was showed up later on consoles. It was in arcades as well. So it's like a cartoon night. And it's all cartoon animation. All you're doing is real time actions.
Yes.
Like going left when you're supposed to, hitting the right button, going right, and it's like one shot kill. You make the mistake, it shows you dying, and then you go, like how like you die different ways, and then when you run out of lives, it just shows your guy turn to a skeleton and fall to the ground. But it's like a full blown cartoon. It's absolutely gorgeous.
Dude,
Here,
yes.
it's going in Discord.
Dude, I know. No, I have that damn game.
Yeah.
I remember playing it on that's why I asked. I'm like, was it on a disc you put in the computer and played? Because, dude, me and my brother, when we were younger, we played that all the time. That and Darkwing Duck. There was a Darkwing Duck game that we played.
Now, see, I played Darkwing Duck, but I have not played this one.
Oh,
okay.
Man, missing out.
You're missing out. You are missing out, but it is frustrating as hell because it's all like, okay, go left. Oh, you didn't go left fast enough. It was like that fast. Okay, go up. You didn't go up fast enough. Sorry. So it's one of those things, and it was designed like that to eat your quarters. I mean, it was just boom, 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 boom. You got 3 lives, and it was about a 15-minute long game. But man, by the time if you went through 15 minutes, you probably dropped $80 in quarter.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, I never got through it in the arcade. Big time. Yeah, good stuff.
Maz is gonna go look for it in an arcade now and just take like $100 worth of quarters with him.
No, man, I have it. I have it on the computer.
You
I'll
could buy
play
it for
forever.
sure.
Yeah, but you want that arcade feel. Come on.
Go get
now.
the cabinet. Yeah, you get the cabinet and kick that door open and just kind of tweak the button. Free gameplay forever.
I think it's probably sitting over by my. Oh yeah, no, right. I gotta look through my cabinets through my Commodore.
There you go. It's $10 on Steam, by the way.
Nice, hell yeah. I mean, that's so cool.
That's old school.
Oh yeah. I hope our listeners find some joy in what we've just talked about.
Yeah, I
I'm
hope
sure
that a lot of our
will.
listeners have the ADD that the 3 of us have.
Oh yeah, you know some do.
We all belong on Ritalin here.
For sure. Oh yeah. Oh, nice. Well, we got through the list of the top 10 rankings. So I was curious after that, as we just talked about the squirrels getting loose, it's going all over the place. Like, wait, okay, top ranking. Oh, how much did they make? Oh, what about this? Top 10 RPGs, whatever, So I got into top 5 indie games by revenue. So for some reason, when it comes to revenue, it decided to include Minecraft. And so another thing with revenue base with indie games, not a lot of indie games will release the information on how much they made. So this is a bit harder. It's not just based on opinion, someone ranking games 1 through 10 and reviews and stuff like that are all out on Steam or through, people actually stating it out on any kind of platform. This is a little muddy, so it's not 100%, but based on what information could be grabbed, it did say that revenue wise, obviously Minecraft's number 1, 300 plus million people buying this game up and playing it, and 4.2 billion in sales since its release. And obviously it started out as an indie game, as we stated, since our very first episode of the Indie Hangout podcast. We talked about this, and it's also, being bought out by Microsoft and everything. So yeah, number 1, obviously not a surprise, I wouldn't think, to anyone.
No, not at all. Same with number 2.
Yeah. I mean, think about it. It's funny, number 2, Terraria, however you want to, however you want to call it. I'm sure that's the right way, but
I think I call it both.
Yeah, dude, honestly, back and forth. This game is number 2. And you would kind of like putting 2 together because everyone kind of looked at it like, oh, it's a 2D style Minecraft, very strong sales, $113 million estimated. Oh, it's not solid concrete, but it's estimated. Crazy. And dude, indie game, $500
billion.
That's insane. Especially for how the game looks. Like, not saying it looks bad, but just thinking of that art style, and it's made that much money.
Yeah. And it does say it likely has a higher revenue income base from this from consoles and mobile as well. So, and we kind of forget about that these games, especially 2D games, I mean, Minecraft is on there as well, I think, but like these smaller 2D games, they can be put on a mobile platform. So where they get even more sales. And then number 3, we got Human Fall Flat. I'll be honest, never heard of this game. I've never played it, but
Played it.
oh, okay. How is
At
this
that one.
game?
Yeah. It's actually pretty fun. So it's you're like it's a ragdoll like simulator in a way is what I consider. Like your character's like real. I don't know how to like explain what your character does, but like his body's like real limp. You ever
Okay.
seen Gang Beast?
No.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a Gang Beast. Your character almost acts like he's like the ones from the game Gang Beast. And like so like you can like jump and then you gotta like grab onto stuff and like you can use like your left arm. You gotta hold the triggers. I play on controller, so you gotta like hold the triggers for each arm. And then you gotta like let go of your left arm, swing up, and grab again, and then let go with your right arm, swing up. But you can fall and like launch yourself across the map, and it's challenges and stuff to complete.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just looked up Gang Beast real quick so I can get an idea. But I mean, I guess I could have just looked up the game too, but that's cool. Human Fall Flat, number 3 on the list, 55 million sales, 287 million estimated, 115 million from Steam base game, scaled for multi-platform. Its explosive growth came in China, and where Steam accounts for 40% of units sold. Holy crap. So that's
wild.
pretty cool.
It's not
Number 4.
surprising either. I mean,
Oh, yeah,
there's
no.
1.5 billion people in China.
Right. Yeah. And when you have it explosive growth, when they say, yeah, explosive growth in China or the United States in general, it's like there's a lot of people in both. So it's like, yeah, numbers are going to be high. Number 4. Yeah, buddy.
What's this one?
I don't know. I mean, you guys heard of this?
First, I'm hearing of this game. I'm interested to hear what you have to say about it.
I mean, Stardew?
Is that
Valet?
Stardew Valet?
Valet? Yeah, this one.
Game
this
about
one.
parking cars.
Yeah, I mean, come on.
Yeah,
Right?
what is it, like you park cars by night? You know,
Right.
Stardew.
This one, gross across all platforms, was a lot. $518 million in sales, 274 million from Steam. That's literally, oh my God. So
insanity.
think about it. Solo developer, concerned, aka Eric Baroni. Dude, almost made $1 billion and gross. $1 billion almost from his game. That's just wow. Wow. Yeah, I mean, number 4. Anyways, number 5. Gary's Mod. So I've heard so much about Gary's Mod. I've never done anything with Gary's Mod, but obviously originally Gary Newman made this, and then it went into Face Punch Studios. 480 million Steam gross revenue. It's a PC exclusive, so I'm curious if it would have got more on consoles, but I don't really understand. I've never played the game. I don't really understand what it is, so I don't know if that was a feasible thing.
No way. Absolutely not. It wouldn't work on console. This actually takes games that you own and allows you to import those characters into this game and create your own games and your own scenarios and stuff like that. So these consoles don't have the firepower for that. My son has 5,061 hours into this on Steam.
My God.
Now, he's been playing it literally since it came out.
Wow.
It came out in, let me just make sure I got this
It's
correct.
2006.
So 2006. Yeah, so he hasn't been playing it since it came out. So he's probably been playing it since about 2010. No, 2010 or 11. He was born in 08. So since he's been 3-4 years old, he's been playing this, and it's just like on and off. And obviously with Steam, if you leave the game up, it counts as time. So it's not like he sat there, but he's got over 5,000 hours into this game. For sure, which is crazy. We've had to clean out and repair his PC a few times because he had so many mods built into it that it's just like the PC's like, yeah, I'm not doing anything until you fix this problem for me. But yeah, it just isn't feasible new on console.
Yeah, that makes sense. Did you use this to import and do all that fun jazz in your games, Chronos, at all?
No, but I mean, I did play Gmod a little bit, like just to try and figure it out, but I couldn't get the hang of it, so I just like, nah, I'm good.
Gotcha.
Yeah, it is overall just like a physics sandbox, if you will. I
Okay.
will ask you guys real quick.
Yeah.
What is it that sets these top 2 here with grossing apart from the last 3? What do you guys think is the difference? Why are these other two so far and away over these last three?
I have a very strong opinion on this, so I'll let Kronos go first.
We'll just say creative freedom. I've never seen Terraria, but if y'all said it's kind of like Minecraft in a way, I'm just gonna go with what I always said about Minecraft. It has creative freedom that people just love to play for a long time.
Yeah.
Thought you knew.
Yeah, dude. Creative freedom 100% to the max, man. That Minecraft, Terraria, what is it about these games that people keep coming back to them, you know? We've talked about it so many times with Minecraft, and Terraria is in the same boat with this, is that expansion of being able to do whatever you want. You could jump into Minecraft, you could go and build, you could fight the Ender Dragon, you fight monsters, you could go exploring, you can build underwater base, you can just, go straight in creative so that you don't have any kind of survival elements. You can have survival elements. Like there's so much, and with the redstone alone, the things you can do with that game, literally you can make it whatever you want. And I think it even, for me, more so even boosts that with mods and stuff that you can install into it and change it up completely in a way, kind of like Roblox. So, but yeah, Terraria, I mean, dude, same thing. The building aspect in the game, being able to go into the different biomes, dig down into the areas. It has a little bit more with that because there's way more bosses you can get to. It's not just the Ender Dragon. I mean, it's Minecraft doesn't just have the Ender Dragon; they have the Wither too and all that. But obviously, I feel like Terraria has quite a bit more to offer when it comes to that. It's just the grind too. Like you got Minecraft, you can go and get your you grind for that netherite armor, and then Terraria, you got all different types of armors you can grind for. It's just these two games, a matter of that freedom to do what you want in them is what keeps people coming back to them. And I would argue too, like even like you guys, I don't know if you've probably done this with it. There's a game that you really, really love. If you bought it on a PC and it's not an Xbox thing, so you're like, okay, I'm gonna buy it on my Xbox because I like to play it on my Xbox when I'm upstairs. Or you've done what I do and I got the Switch. I'm like, oh, I'm gonna buy it on the Switch. Stupid things. Like, I don't need to have it on my Switch. I have it on Xbox or I have it on my PC. But you got one guy alone that bought it 3 separate times. How many other people are doing the same thing because of how great these games are? But I'll swing it back to you, Mass. What do you think?
Well, I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying there, but I look at Gary's mod, Gmod. I have the creative freedom with that as well. I can pick any assets that I want, create scenarios, vignettes, however you want to do it. Stardew Valley, it's got a hell of a game loop to it, doesn't it? I mean, that's why you like it so much. You could do a lot of different things. It's nice and chill. So it's got a game loop, and I think game loop is important, right?
Yeah.
Human Fall Flat, I never really played Human Fall Flat, and that seems to be, of these 5, is probably the most rigid as far as your game loop and what you can and can't do. And I agree with both of you that there's a creative freedom in Minecraft and Terraria, but quite honestly, there's creative freedom in 4 of these 5 games. The top 2 are really big on multiplayer. Now, you can do co-op multiplayer in Human Fall Flat, but it's designed for one player. New, you had mentioned a few episodes back that you can't stand the multiplayer on Stardew Valley. So, in your opinion, maybe with the exception of Bay, if she ever played the game with you, you're not really looking to play that multiplayer, correct?
Yeah, not at all.
Gmod is really, as much as you can do co-op and some multiplayer, whether over LAN or online, all of these have that type of option here. But I don't want to play any of these last 3 games with somebody else. It just doesn't feel right.
Right.
It's almost a given. I love Minecraft solo and multiplayer. Cannot stand Terraria by myself. It bores me to no end. But to have people to play with, it just changes the dynamic of the game. And I think that is really the biggest that makes these the 2 outliers, especially. And the reason why I'm pulling that up is that Terraria has like the top, it's number 9 on this list of all time, but it's number 2 in grossing because I think it has to do with the multiplayer aspect of it when it comes to units sold.
Yeah, I agree with that, man. I mean, it's funny too because you were thinking about that, and I was also thinking about like the top 10 list of all-time indie games, and it's like, what are the similarities? Like, what sets these games apart from all the other indies? And I was even looking at like 2D games, roguelike, puzzle, but dude, honestly, of the top 10, there's a variety of different ways and different genres these games are. But if you want to nail it down, yeah, I think you're right. Like that one creative freedom, and obviously creative freedom, multiplayer, and game loop. You know, if you nail those down, you got a pretty decent game that's probably going to do well.
It's a huge recipe for success. One thing that throws me off here is that I don't understand why the LLM that you use to pull this list doesn't have Minecraft on it.
I mean, what are you talking about? I think it's solid, man. I mean,
But why doesn't it have Minecraft on the top 10?
I have no idea.
It's weird, right?
Just a little bit, yeah, because
I think it's definitely a good list, but it's weird that it's not on the top 10 of all time, but it's on top 10, your top 5 indie games by revenue. There's no way that unless when you pulled top 10 indies of all time, it was not considering Minecraft to be an indie game anymore. It's a AAA game now, right? So that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, because let's be honest, Minecraft I think would be number one across everything. You know,
Without question.
revenue, number one indie game, number one in a lot of things. So, all right, guys, you know, since we went ahead and got through our top 10, top 5, I want to take a break. I want to get into another segment here. But before we get into the next segment, let's go ahead and take a quick ad break. And when we get back, we're going to go over some more exciting news. We're going to go over some more interesting information about some of these indie highlights and maybe from the shows. And lastly, we'll get into the poll right after this. Hey, Indie Hangout crew, loving the show? Help us spread the word by dropping a quick 5-star rating or review wherever you might be listening to this podcast. It takes just a second and helps more than you know. Thanks for being awesome. Now, back to the show. And welcome back to the Indie Hangout Podcast with me, Pneumatics, Maztec Gaming, and Osak Kronos. All right, so listeners, we went ahead and gone through our top 10 and our top 5 of everything of like revenue, top 10 games of all time, indie games, I should say, more specifically. But there's some news that we were all a bit excited for, I think a couple episodes back, and it finally has a release date. Holy crap. I am, of course, talking about the new handheld coming out from Xbox, the ROG Ally X and the ROG Ally, the two different versions of it, and it is going to release October 16th. What do you guys think about this? You excited, Kronos?
I was until I seen the price tags.
Those are not set in stone. They're not set in stone, though.
No, but like just the thought of it, I'm like, if they're really going for those prices, that's ridiculous.
I think we kind of speculated during when we did our podcast on it. I think this is kind of like right around what we were saying, right?
Yeah. Wasn't it going for... Yeah, $899 is for the elite version. You know, the Ally X.
Yeah, the X,
and the Ally
Yeah,
$549.
see, I thought before we had, I think it was like $499 and like maybe $699. I think was the difference.
Yeah, I mean, I
Was
know
like-
we were in the ballpark for sure.
Yeah, but man, to be almost $900 for the higher end one. I mean, because me personally, if I'm gonna buy it, I'm gonna buy the better one. But it's like that's a lot of money to dump onto the console that I'm not gonna use a whole lot.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make myself use that for that kind of price. I'm gonna force myself to use it, even when I don't want to play games. I've been like, get up, Maz, get on that damn console.
Yeah, for real, man. I don't think I have a problem. I don't know, man. I'm so torn about it. I know these prices are not set in stone, and this is speculative, right? Of what leaks have been coming out and sources of what these are going to be costing, right? If it's close to that, yeah, I'm not going to be happy about it. The price tag sucks, right? It's higher than any other console they've released. Like the value though, like for me, as I've told you guys, I love my Steam Deck, and the fact that the Xbox Ally would have not only Xbox games but Game Pass, Steam on it, Windows 11, be able to go online with it. You could use it as a browser. You could do all this crap with it. It's literally in a handheld PC. I don't know in terms of I know we talked about graphics and stuff. It's supposed to be like out of this world when it comes to graphics for a handheld. It's like, is the value there for that price tag? I don't know. There's a lot you can do with it. Like you can't do all of what you can do on that on other consoles. So it's like, I don't know. It's hard, man. I still hope that that's not right. I hope it's not the right price. I hope it's lower than that.
I'm not seeing that.
You're not seeing it lower than that?
Nah.
Ugh. And I did see an article pass by my feed about PlayStation's handheld coming out. And of course, it's like the console wars. They're competing and they're going to be like, ours is way better. It's got this and this and this, blah, blah, blah. I'll be curious to see if they're going to adjust their price based on PlayStation's coming out, or if PlayStation's going to adjust their price based on Xbox when they release. It's that whole look what they do first, and then we'll see what we can get away with kind of deal. So I don't know. I'll still get it. I'm still gonna get it. I'm excited.
This may be the second or third most expensive console ever released, I think.
I'm curious, what would be the most? I mean, that would probably have to deal with a lot of like past consoles. We just talked about inflation,
right? Right. And I think that you have to factor that in. But in 1990, are you familiar with the Neo Geo? Have you heard of the Neo Geo before? Who hasn't, right?
Yeah.
So they have the Neo Geo Gold system that released in 1990 for $649. Okay? What is that? And actually today, if you can find one new in the box, it goes for about $2,300.
Oh my God.
This is $1,604 by 2025 standards. If I purchased the Neo Geo Gold system in 1990 at $649, then in 2025 that same item would cost $1,604. You also have, and we've talked about it in the past podcast here as well, past episode, the Nintendo Entertainment System. And then in 1985, NES released for $299, the deluxe edition. That's with the Light Zapper, Duck Hunt, Gyromite, and Rob the robot. $299, and that was in 1985. In 2025, that same item would cost $897.69. And I wanted one of those when I was a kid. My parents got that for me in like 1985 or 86, and I'm like, wow, my parents must have really loved me back then because that's a lot of damn money. But the thing is, that is only, by today's standards, $2 less than that ROG Ally X. That's crazy if you think about it that way. So this would essentially be the second most expensive console out there, theoretically.
Yeah. Oh, man. Yeah, that price tag. I mean, in Chronos, you're like even debating on it because of that price tag. And obviously it's like, at our, I always tell my wife, like, at my age, I'm going to go for the best version of something, if I'm going to buy it.
That's, if I'm buying a TV, I'm getting the big one, I'm not getting the little bitty one. It's like, if I buy monitors for my PC, I got, G-Sync 4K monitors. Like, I'm not going to buy junk ones. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's just like in us to do it. So, especially as streamers, especially as gamers, I feel like I'm even more so with that when it comes to gaming consoles in general and all that. So, yeah, when I'm going for, I did it with my Steam Deck. I bought the most expensive one you can get because I wanted all of the graphic content I can get out of it, and I wanted all of the storage I can get out of it. So, which it's gonna be kind of dumb on me if I'm gonna buy the X is going to take it over for me, but whatever, it's fine. But it served its purpose for the time being. But yeah, it's exciting.
I mean, I'll be honest. The only way you're getting $900 out of my hands for this is if you have exclusive games on it that I absolutely have to have. Can't access on my PC. I mean, one of the big things is that there's going to be Steam integration with it. Why do I need to pay $900 to play a game that I've got a $2,500 PC setup? Why am I spending $900 to play it not on my PC?
See, from my understanding, it is Steam integrated.
It is. Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Why do I need it? I mean, I'm playing my games at home. I'm not like, if I'm on the road with my family, I'm the one driving. I'm not sitting in the back seat playing a game. It's like I'm the driver. There's no game. There's no game.
I wish.
I'm out. Right. I mean, I'm the father of a family of 5 overall. I mean, this is like, I don't have 5 kids. I've got 3 kids, but we're a family of 5. I'm not playing games when I'm not in front of my PC or in front of a console.
Yeah. I guess I see your point with that, Maz, but for me, I've told you guys before, and I've told our listeners before, like for me, it's easier just because of my setup. It's more, I don't know, it's weird. It's like more of a hassle for me to come down into my basement, into my studio setup, or initially where my studio is going to be, and to turn my PC on and get everything loaded and everything to start playing than it is for me to just grab it off the dock upstairs and sit on the couch and start playing. And then when my little guy, and obviously, because my little guy is only 2.5 years old, so he needs a lot of attention from me, which obviously, if I'm playing a game, it's easy to, like the Steam Deck, when you have that suspension pause, I just click the button, set it down, and I'm off, playing with him with toys or going outside or whatever. When I come back over and he's busy doing his own thing because he's very independent, I'll go and grab, my Steam Deck and sit on the couch and start playing again. That's why I see the value in it. That's why it's valuable to me.
See, like for me, I mean, I could see myself getting one. I know I'm sitting here saying like I don't know if I could do it for that price tag, but I'm a Halo fan. If I can play Halo on the go, like if I'm because like November we're going on vacation, like sitting there in the hotel room at night. If I can just take a handheld console with me and play all my games, I would probably do that.
Dude, Chrono's setting up on doing some Halo streams on his LIX from the hotel room.
Nah, I'd probably just play it. I wouldn't stream it. But,
Right.
like
Like,
just
what's up, guys, from the hotel room?
But like you get back to your hotel and you got like a couple hours before you go to bed or something. It's like, well, I don't feel like sitting here watching these generic TV channels that they'll let us watch. It's like so.
Yeah, I can see that, man. But
Or
I
at
guess,
work.
yeah, yeah, dude. I get my hour lunch. I'd bring that to work. I'd play it. No, interesting stuff, man. So obviously, not too far away. Not too far away. A little over a month away before it comes out. So I guess obviously, we're gonna have episodes in between, and we'll try and update our listeners on this and just the general consensus from people who are looking forward to this console. And definitely, our listeners, let us know what you're thinking. Are you interested in getting this console, or are you kind of like, yeah, I'm over it? I'm happy with my Switch 2, or I'm happy with my Steam Deck, whatever the case may be. Or in like Maz's case too, if you're just happy playing your games on your PC and you're good with it, let us know in the Discord. We'd love to hear it. Wild, man, wild. So, it's funny when we're looking at handhelds, it's like, will this new console still spotlight for new indie titles coming out? Because obviously a lot of them are going to be on there, especially with Steam on there. So I want to go ahead and take a look into the platforms for indies in general to get a better idea for this, because we always talk about Steam all the time, but obviously indies are releasing on other platforms, and we talked about it in prior episodes a little bit. We talked about Steam, we talked about itch.io, but there's also some other contenders. So Epic Game Store. We also talked about Epic because they're the ones behind Unreal Engine. They're the ones that are trying to compete with Unity and all that as well. They're becoming another go-to for indies. Developer friendly with an 88-12 revenue split. Are you kidding me?
That's crazy. That's a big difference too, like an 18% difference.
Yeah. Yeah, because didn't we say the split for indies when put on Steam? Or wait. There's a certain amount. You have to hit a certain amount. And we talked about that too before. So like the difference is just insane. It's like, and I remember reading this up, like there was a big time indie developer, Bennett, the guy Bennett, Get Over It was his game, and Baby Steps. Bennett Foddy, right? He's the one, I could be wrong here, but I'm almost 100% sure. It doesn't matter if you want to look it up and anyone's listening, but I'm pretty sure he's the one that even posted about that and said, whoa, crazy revenue split. I think you'd be an idiot not to take this, and just pretty much saying like, yeah, I'm gonna be releasing an Epic Game Store. That's a huge, huge advantage for Epic to go ahead and get their foot in the door here. Or I mean, they already got their foot in the door, but to kind of like solidify that we mean business, and they can.
See,
they can. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, I think Epic, being able to do that, I think that comes from the powerhouse of the game that they released, Fortnite. I mean, they've made a ton of money off that game to the point now where they're like, hey, let's offer this platform that's, gives out a lot of revenue and, no fees, easy access, availability to our Unreal Engine. And like, they can do that because they have a ton of money behind them from that big game. Plus, I mean, they started out with the Gears of War franchise years ago that was pretty big itself. So Epic has a big backing to it that they can give out more revenue, which in turn, like you said, draws people in more.
Yeah, I was just about to say that too. I'm like, and they can because of Fortnite, man, and all these other successful things that have made them the giant that they are. They can do an 88-12 split. They can have no platform fees they have a huge user base in general, and they offer so many great things through it. So I'll be curious to see in the future if we think that Epic will take over Steam, or as we had a little hint before, like, what's going on with Microsoft having Steam on their console? What's this all about? Is there something more that we might see from Microsoft, wanting to buy up all these companies and game studios? Are they looking at Steam going, you look like you'd be useful, And because if that happens, then, Microsoft is like the big contender here, and then Epic's competing with them. So I'm curious. I'm really curious about that. What do you think,
So
man?
just
Xbox could eat Steam, no problem.
Oh,
The thing
yeah.
I worry about with Epic
yeah.
is it's an 88-12 revenue split. They're not nearly as popular as Steam when it comes to games, and especially when it comes to indie games. What happens when you start to grab that market share? Everybody's over there now. What's to stop them from saying, okay, now it's a 70-30 split?
Yeah.
That's what I worry about. Yeah, there's more users on Steam. There's more games on Steam. But Epic has more liquid assets because Fortnite is an absolute beast. And
So
Gears of
Fortnite
War.
has made $40 billion since its release.
Is that
My
wild? Yes.
God.
That is crazy. Like, I would
That's
say
just-
that doesn't surprise me, but that's super surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah. But see, you gotta think that's just Fortnite alone. That's not including all the other games that they sell.
Yeah, absolutely wild.
So I mean, they could do that, 88-12% split because they're like, hey, we've made a killing off of this game. Let's just, keep money coming in from this other stuff too, but also giving back to where it keeps people coming. Like they have that money to be able to do that. Like they're not like, trying to make a living or keeping their company afloat by money from indie games. They have those powerhouse games funding the company that they can just go, okay, we're going to do it this way.
Absolutely. 100% agree.
Yeah. That's the thing, man. And, I think the same way too, man. At some point, if they do become a number one, who's to say they can't just be like, okay, yep, we accomplished what we wanted. So here's the real split.
Exactly.
Now we're really trying to get the money.
But I don't believe that, and maybe you will know this better than I do. Do I have to be exclusive to one or the other? Can I put it on both?
No, you don't have to be exclusive. You could put it on either. You could put it on both. You could put it
Yeah.
on whatever you want.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the nice thing about it as a dev. I mean, that's for now. I mean, I'm curious if there would ever be a thing in the future. I hope not. I don't want that kind of bad vibe juju going around. That would really suck, for exclusivities between releasing on platforms for indies.
Well, that's what I'm
But-
doing if I'm Steam. I'll
Yeah.
match that 88-12, but you're exclusive to Steam.
Yeah, see? Yeah, I know. That could happen.
I mean, look at, they used Unreal Engine for Alan Wake 2. They published Alan Wake 2. You're never going to see Alan Wake 2 on Steam because of that. They got their exclusivity. Epic got their exclusivity to Alan Wake 2 that way.
Yeah, I don't know. I would hate to see it because I just feel like as a gaming in general, the community's coming so far for like cross-platform that was never a thing before, and PlayStation finally getting on board with a lot of it. And dude, look at Helldivers 2. Finally, the camaraderie between players from Xbox coming on with PC players and PlayStation, and like there's so many good vibes coming from that game. And like I read articles of like, oh, your typical what people thought would have happened with like PlayStation users trying to oust the Xbox users or going against one another, whatever. Actually was not the case at all. They're actually working together. PlayStation users and PC users are helping Xbox players. And I think that's awesome. And I would love to see more
Yes.
of that. But other than that, so obviously Steam, Epic Game Store, we got, of course, the console ecosystem. And so I wanted to bring this up, obviously, because it can't be left out. And we've talked about this with dev kits for indie devs, needing the dev kits from Xbox, Microsoft for the Xbox and Sony for PlayStation and all that. And for the Nintendo, it's obviously needed so that indies can put their games on those, test them, and then release those on those platforms. Obviously, we're talking a little bit with Ruffy and the Riverside devs and how they used an outside source to help them with that, with their publisher. It's awesome to have that amount of help to do this, but it's that much more. How many times have we talked about Steam and how easy it is for devs to make, I spent $100 and I released my game on Steam. Done. Easy, I don't have to think twice about it. And Unity makes it really easy, and I'm sure Unreal Engine makes it easy to even release on Epic Game Store. Just a click of a button, you know? I mean, there's more to it, but in terms compared to the console ecosystem, it's a lot easier, and it can make it that much harder for indie dev to even think about releasing on console because like if they release it on Steam and they're kind of looking at the numbers, they're kind of looking at like, does it make sense for me to even try? You know, especially with how hard it can be. And I wanted to share this with you guys. I saw this article come across from GameSpot, and it deals with the Switch 2. And we had talked about it a little bit before about the Switch and how hard it is in general for indie devs to get their games on the Switch from Nintendo to keep being greenlit. It's even harder, as I suspected, to get it on the Switch 2. I had thought it was going to be, and I spoke about it a little bit in prior episodes, and it definitely is. So the Switch 2 dev kits, this is from GameSpot, still sounds somewhat rare even 2 months after launch. So that's making it very difficult for anyone, probably anyone, any indie dev in general, but I would assume anyone that's not on our top 10 list of indie games of all times in general to even get a dev kit for the Nintendo Switch to put on, which is kind of sad, you know? Obviously, there's a big market for it for a handheld console like the Switch 2. And I'll be honest with you, it's all I hear about with the Switch is when you hear little small indie games coming on. And we just had an episode about cozy games. Those players are looking for the port over to Switch. Oh, when's it coming to Switch? When's it coming to Switch? So the fact that Nintendo's not jumping on the ball with that, it's really, I guess I can't say it's really surprising, but it is a little surprising that it's still just as hard, if not harder. What do you guys think about that? With all that, it's something that you think that Nintendo should have been better about, and or is it not surprising to you guys either?
Not at all surprising. Again, Nintendo being Nintendo, right? I mean, it's
Yeah.
it a million times. It's almost obnoxious because they know how big they are and they know they can do what they do. And they don't care about indie games.
Right.
They don't care about, hey, I want to get in on this too. They do it every once in a while, but like they've never done as good of a job graphically as the other consoles. Like I think it was on the Wii. It was Ghostbusters. You guys remember that Ghostbusters, the video game?
Yeah, dude.
The video game, right? So they came out, and it came out for Xbox 360, and it came out for PlayStation 3, and they put it out for Wii, and it was a completely different graphic game. It looked stupid. I mean, it was just so dumb how like different it was. It was the same game, but they couldn't bring the graphics over. But they didn't care because their money comes from Mario and Donkey Kong and Mario Kart and Paper Mario and Mario RPG and all of their IPs. And I probably, Luigi's Mansion. I mean, I could sit here for the next 20 minutes and list off Nintendo characters and their games. And they have a rinse and repeat formula. Think about that. What did they do with the N64? Well, here's Mario Tennis. Here's Paper Mario. Here's this, that, and the other thing. Mario, Luigi. Here comes the Wii. Okay. Well, let's do some Mario games. Let's do some Luigi games. Hey, here's Mario Tennis. Hey, here's Mario Golf. Okay, enter the Switch. Wonder what we should do next. Hey, here's a Mario game. I mean, it's the same thing over and over. It's rinse and repeat. And guess what? What released with the Wii, the Switch 2? How about that? Look at that. It's a new Mario game. It's Mario Kart. Here is Donkey Kong. There's going to be a Mario Tennis. There's going to be a Mario Golf. It's just all rinse and repeat. It's the same IP over and over again, but they're always innovating it. So I'm not knocking them because they've got a brilliant IP and they've held that by making it exclusive. I made this game. It's for my system. I'm not giving that away to other people. Like Sega, Sonic was theirs. They're everywhere now. Like Sonic games could be good on any console, right? They don't care about the indie games per se. Yeah. Steam, $100. You just said it yourself. $100, put your game on there. I don't even care if it's that great. I got my $100. But what I get from the Switch 2 being so difficult to get onto their system is that, look, I'm putting your game, your indie game, next to Mario, okay? And I'm speaking as Nintendo. I'm putting it next to Mario. I'm putting it next to Donkey Kong. You better be grade A. You know what I mean? Or S class. I mean, I've never understood where the hell S class came from. S is way the hell below.
Yeah, me neither,
But
dude.
yeah, anyway. But my point being is that they are dedicated to quality. They're a user experience company through and through. They rely on their console intellectual properties as their bread and butter. And hey, if we have a really great, groundbreaking, earth-shattering indie game that can complement our console, hey, more power to you. Welcome aboard. Welcome to the family. But we're not going to make it easy for you. And that's how I take it. And it is as annoying and obnoxious as it can be sometimes. That's why you've got Steam. That's why you've got all these other consoles. They're like, yeah, sure, we'll take your game. Why not? It's money. This is a quality. I want you to turn on your Switch, and I don't want you to turn it off until the battery dies. That kind of thing, right?
Yeah. What do you think, Kronos?
I mean, I actually fully agree with Maz on that one. Like Xbox and PlayStation, they're all for like as many games as they can cram on their consoles. I've seen games on Xbox. It's like, how did they even think this would be like something people would buy or play? Seriously, like there's some indie games that are on Xbox, and I'm like, who's playing this? Like why is this popping up? And like you look at it, and it's like it has hardly any sales. But it's like as Maz said, Xbox and stuff, they're just like, oh, we're gonna make money, so here, come on in. But as he said with Nintendo, I mean they're quality over quantity, hands down, always been that way. I mean that's why it takes 4 to 5 years between, well, he, as Maz was mentioning, like Mario and everything, but Pokemon, that's like the super giant for Nintendo also.
Didn't even mention Pokemon. You're absolutely right.
They're 4 to 5 years between a new generation every time with Pokemon, but that's because they want it to be something that stands out for players. They don't want it to be, sure, they release their games that are like, okay, well, this one feels a little bit rushed, but at the same time, it's still a new experience. Like they'll remake the older games, still feels like a new game in a way. That's just a kind of like, okay, let's revamp the graphics and push it out. They get it in between game. Just like, I think coming up next month, we get Legends ZA, which is pretty much X and Y again, but just from a different perspective. So like, that's an in-between game because we had Scarlet and Violet, years ago, 2021, I think. Next year is supposed to be the next generation. So they put in filler games in between, but then they release their big main titles for Pokemon that are just like top notch every time. Like people love them. So like I said, fully agree with what Maz said that Nintendo is, I mean, they want to help out and have some indie games and stuff, but they're more about themselves for the long haul.
Yeah, that's true. They are. And it seems they always will be.
The gold standard.
Yeah.
Because I mean, if you think about it, you can get what? You can get Stardew, you can get Minecraft. Like you can get the ones that are been polished and like, hey, these games play amazing, like they're top-notch titles. Yeah, we'll let them on our console.
Yeah. Yeah, that gold standard little sticker. Nintendo. What was that? How was it on the Nintendo 64 games? That little, was it just called gold something? Certification?
Yeah, it's
That they
gold
used to have?
certification, I think it was called, but it was always like official Nintendo product on those little gold. And those were on like the the NES cartridges too. I mean, crazy.
Yeah, so that's why. Yeah, we all know this is just the way Nintendo is, and it's the way they're always going to be. I mean, and you can't blame them. Be picky with who you're going to have on your console. Who has already had their stuff together and stuff polished up, and keep innovating the titles that are always going to keep bringing people back. Yeah, I see it, but I'm still not going to buy one until a Legend of Zelda game comes out.
Yeah, but that's just it. You think that's not coming?
No, for sure. You're going to see the next Pokemon, as Chrono said. You're going to see the next Zelda game. You're going to see the next, oh my gosh, Animal Crossing. All these big titles that have captivated players. They're going to come back.
And they're never going to be on any other console.
Yeah.
Until that changes, we're talking about the king here, or queen, whatever you want to call it.
And
Sir.
another like thing to put into perspective too is how you said that you're going to wait until those big titles come out. Well, if you think about it, back to what we said earlier about the the Xbox Ally, the big version, we want the best one. I like exclusive consoles. I got the Scarlet and Violet OLED. I got the Halo Infinite Xbox. They're gonna have that, probably Legends of Zelda Switch 2 that you can buy.
Oh, you shut your mouth. You know my money's going straight to it.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, it ties it back into like we want that big bad console, and that's another thing too that consoles have in a way. Like especially Nintendo. They got a Mario Switch. They got a Zelda Switch. You got Pokemon Switches. I mean, they got what was the one game that everybody was playing? Splatoon?
Yeah, that's
Like,
another
they
big
made
one.
exclusive Switches for almost every single one of their exclusive games.
Damn you, Nintendo.
They know what they're doing. And I said it about the ROG as well. It's, if there's no exclusive games, I have no reason to get it. If I can, chances are I could play it on Game Pass, and that's fine. I cannot play it on Game Pass, and that's fine. I could play it on my Xbox, and that's fine. But until you make it so it's like I have to have it. Here's a game that, like, and I'll tell you one thing that would really piss me off. What happens if they move Final Fantasy exclusively to the ROG Ally? It's like, now
Only
like,
available on the ROG Ally.
Right, you bastards. Because now that's a checkmate for me. Like, we got to do something about that now.
Yeah.
That's something that has to change. So I can't justify the expense at this point. You guys have talked about portability. You've talked about my office is going into my basement. I might change my attitude, but I also have a PC in my bedroom that I can hook up and use if I want to as well.
Right.
I have Switches already. We're good. I don't see the need to invest in another console at this point, but that can always change. So I get it.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Yeah, and I know I said, like I said earlier, that I might end up buying one, but I was sitting here looking around my room, and I'm like, if they release an olive green one with orange chrome accents, just like my Halo 3 Xbox 360, yeah, I'd buy one.
It's all over.
I mean, it's just like, I guess it's like, for some of us, it's all on like, if it hits that need or that want,
Mm-hmm.
Personally, I wouldn't flat out buy one. If they released the Halo version, I would probably grab one, like just to have it.
There has to be the value there, right? So you have cost, and you have value, right? I don't see a $900 console. I can't even say that straight faced. Buying a console for $900 to play the games that I already have access to. I don't see the value in that. That's not worth the money to me. But you throw something in there that's like, okay, this is like, that adds the value. Like, to your point, a Halo exclusive console, you're all in. You don't care about the games that you can play on it. You want it because that's exclusive. That's something that you'll never get again if you don't get it now. That's one of those things. And then you have the console to use. That's value versus price. And the price and the value, to me, they don't match up at the moment.
Yeah, like
100%
I said,
agree.
definitely depends on circumstances. All right. Well, it's funny talking about all that and talking about Steam games, right, in general. I want to go ahead and I was curious, and my curiosity got the best of me. I wanted to know approximately how many indie titles would be releasing in September. And oh my lordy. So in this segment, yeah, how many indie titles actually released based on data from SteamDB and other tracking sources? At least 700 plus indie games are expected to release on Steam in September alone.
Stupid. It's so stupid. But it's also low new. Think about that. 30 days in September, that's 23 titles a day in September. And we just had heard recently that 48 games a day come out on Steam, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
So that's less than half of what we are normally used to get. Half of that in a 30-day period. 48 titles being released every day. That's 1,440 games being released on Steam every month. And here we are at 700.
Wow. So yeah, you're right. It's a surprising number, but now you put it in perspective, I guess it's actually low.
It's a little bit low.
And
but at the same time,
to
does
put
that
it into
mean...
another.
Oh, go ahead.
No, go ahead. Now I know what you're gonna say, so go ahead.
No, please.
Oh, I was just gonna say, does that, like, it also put it into another perspective, is that as we've been saying that we don't have enough time to play all these games, the less games that actually come out, the more likely people are to play.
Absolutely. It's funny because It's crazy to think how many games release a day, right? In general, there's no way we're ever going to be able to play that many games. It's also a matter of like, we've talked about like, the range of games and quality. Not all of these are going to be top-notch games. Not all of these. Some of these are going to be shovelware, and some of these might even just be a couple-hour game that you pop on and play and you're done with. So, but in general, that's why I've stated before, like, isn't it insane to think that there might be some games releasing that are really, really, really good, but we'll never play?
Right.
700 games, dude. My gosh. So
So dumb.
now I'm curious on how many games are expected in the coming months. So I have a feeling I'm going to start pulling the statistic through the months just to see if there's like, obviously you would think there's an uptick in October, and I would feel there's an uptick in December around holiday season. October being obviously spooky. I see uptick in that. And maybe even the beginning of the year. Other than that, I mean, September, I don't know. Maybe, school's back in session. Not a lot of kids are going to be jumping on their Switch or on their PC to play games. And maybe that's also why it kind of lowered. But yeah, I don't know. It'll be a fun thing to put together to see how it all comes out,
Oh, yeah.
Targeted marketing.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, if you hadn't noticed, I actually didn't do the poll. We did not do a poll this time because I initially wrote up a poll that I wanted to put up, and then I was like, you know what? I think we'll go ahead and save the poll for another time, and we'll just get into the mailbag because we've skipped out on the mailbag, I think, the last 2 episodes.
The what,
No,
Kronos?
not at all.
Right?
Mailbag.
Yeah, the mailbag. So, if you guys didn't know, over on the Discord for the Indie Hangout podcast, we have a little channel called Mailbag. And in there, you can go ahead and write to us questions, comments, concerns, new releases, interesting topics that you would like us to talk about when we go into an episode. And it just so happens we got a pretty fun one that we were able to get into and actually physically probably look around our house for games if we wanted to. This question came from, or this topic in general, I should say, came from Yemi the Ferret, our very own Yemi. Love this guy. So he goes, this was a topic that came up in a different Discord I'm in, but what series /IP/franchise do you own the most games in? Can be digital, physical. I only counted my physical collection for it because I didn't feel like shifting through all the thousands of digital games I own. His top 3 were Mario, Guitar Hero, and then Call of Duty. So Mario, he had 26 different copies, Guitar Hero 21, and then Call of Duty 19.
It's wild.
Oh my gosh, dude. He even put out some honorable mentions. Batman, Arkham, Sonic, Medal of Honor. Wow.
I don't think Yemi actually understands this, but the guy is he's an absolute legend. He really is. That's crazy to have. I can't even get over it.
That's insane. So did you guys get a chance to go through your collection and
Oh yeah.
list that all out? So what do you got, miss?
I want to know if you guys can guess what it is, because you guys know me pretty well. New, I think you're going to be. Our interests align with this franchise pretty heavily.
Let's see. Would it be it's funny, like franchise? Are we including this? Would it be having to deal with Elder Scrolls?
No, it isn't RPG. It's a JRPG, more specifically. And
Final Fantasy.
Yeah, Final Fantasy.
Yeah.
I have.
I knew that one. Come on now.
Yeah, let's see. I have 28 Final Fantasy games in my library.
That's because they made 28 different games.
No, they made 38 of them. I just haven't gotten the other 10 yet. But they're it's a lot of Final Fantasy games. I mean, I could make a whole channel dedicated to Final Fantasy and not lose sleep. I mean, not get tired of it, nothing. And then let's see, after that is then you get I kind of bunch that together, Bethesda games.
Yeah.
Because those are kind of, I don't want to say they're their own genre or anything like that, but those are the kind of the games that I play together, and I've got 12 of those Bethesda games in my library, which is that, and then the rest is really just kind of like a bunch of random stuff. But yeah, absolutely, those are my top two. No honorable mentions. I have let's see, I am now up to, I don't even know, 373 games in my library total.
Holy crap.
It's gone up substantially. I've had some, I've made some pretty cheapy purchases, which has been great. I also have some very, very generous viewers and followers on my channel that have been actually gifting quite a bit of games. Chaz Kramer being one of them. Call Me Names sending a couple of them my way. Wheezy's World sending some my way. The Queen of Z is sending some my way. So really, really generous people that really help us with the content flow. Nilet as well.
Nice, man. So I'll go next. Actually, would have, it's funny trying to go through all my stuff. I'm like, in actuality, what's like the most out of all the different ones? And it comes for me as well, Final Fantasy. You know why? You know why, Maz? Because you talked me in to buying the freaking bundle. And it put me over. It put me over the edge. I freaking went in and I bought Final Fantasy 1 through, I think, 6.
Yeah.
And then I already have the original Final Fantasy 7. Then I have Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth, Remake. I have, oh my God, I got Final Fantasy 8. And that's not including my physical copies because I have Final Fantasy 10. I have the one with, I think I can never remember the one. I played the online one, not the recent online one, the other one.
11.
Yeah, I played 11. I played 13, which was Lightning, I think. Yeah, dude, so many Final Fantasy games. And I think if it weren't for me buying that bundle, I think it would be Legend of Zelda would be my top, because I literally bought like every single Legend of Zelda you can think of, even the Game Boy games. I have Legend of Zelda Story, what is it? Oracle of Seasons, and then there's another one. They're like a duo thing. I mean, whatever, it doesn't really matter, but I had those. Obviously, I still have my old Nintendo 64 with the physical Majora's Mask, and I have Ocarina of Time. I have Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom. Yeah, like ridiculous. Almost every Legend of Zelda game I have. Even for the Wii, I bought some for the Wii. So that would be my number 2. Final Fantasy first, Legend of Zelda is 2, and other than that, yeah, it's just a jumbled mess of a bunch of other games. I'll probably be. Yeah, thanks, man. Jesus. I was trying to be like all different. I'm like, nah, Legend of Zelda's my thing. No, I bought that bundle and screwed it all up.
So real quick then, how many games in your Steam library now?
Oh, I still don't even have that much. It's still, I haven't even hit over 100. It's 83.
I think that's up maybe 12.
Yeah, it's all Final Fantasy. It's all Final Fantasy. Yeah, man, it's funny. I think if anything else, it would be for me the same. Bethesda games in general would be third. If we're going like just studio wise, after that it would be Bethesda. With all my Fallout games, I own a Fallout 3, New Vegas 4, and then obviously Skyrim and all that. So, but yeah, that's for me. That was fun going through. But how about you, Kronos? What do you got? What do you got for us?
Man, so I kind of kept with the theme of really just focusing on 2, and my biggest one is Pokemon. I have every single Pokemon game that they've made.
Oh my gosh!
I even have Japanese copies of like the blue and red and stuff from the original Game Boy Color.
I'm a little jealous.
And it's, last I checked, it's over 70 games.
Holy crap, dude!
That's wild, bro.
Between the GameCube games, the like the Wii U games that they came out with, like the Pokemon Rumble, all the ones for the Switch, for the Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, the Nintendo DS, 3DS. Yeah, I have every game they've ever made. And I didn't include like emulators that I have on my computer either, because that would probably be over 100. But I just kept it. I kept it physical copies, and it's like a little over 70.
That's awesome, man.
And there's still more coming out, so I'll be buying more.
Nice.
Second though was Halo. Even though my room is dedicated to Halo, I don't have but 32 different hard copies of Halo games. There's not that many games, but I have this weird obsession. If I go to like a yard sale or something and I see a copy for sale for like $2 or $3, I grab it. I have 8 Halo Combat Evolves.
Oh my god!
On my shelf.
I
don't even need them.
Dude.
Just because I collected them. I don't know. Like it was just. It's just funny to collect. Like Halo
In case you
Reach, I
wanna
got
play it
4
more than
copies
once.
of Halo Reach. Yeah, you know. Take the disc out, pop the next one in, and I'm playing a whole nother game again. But no, like it just, you know, we always bought the collector's editions, the legendary editions. So like that was 3 copies of the game right there. Because with Halo 3, they changed the case for the standard edition, the legendary edition, and the heroic edition. So you had 3 different cases that you could get. So we bought all 3 of them. So I had them. Like it's just, yeah. After that, I mean, it's just a collection of games.
Nice,
That's
man.
great, though.
Yeah, honestly.
And how
And-
many
and as
games
the-
in your library?
I'm up to 49 now.
Boom!
Yeah. There
I
we
will
go.
say, as somebody who just started, you know, let's see here. Is there a way I can filter out games that I bought this year?
Well, I don't
There
know.
is not. I was just curious because I'm like, if I could see which ones I bought this year, I guarantee you it's probably 45.
Now you got to go. I think you got to go through your purchase history to
Yeah.
kind of count that, which is kind of a pain in the butt.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you right now, I was not playing PC games until this year started. Like I can tell you, hold on. Actually, I got an idea. Yeah, let's see here. Rainbow Six I had already. Dead by Daylight I had already. The Master Chief Collection I had already. Another copy of Halo. And Rainbow Six Siege, yeah. So 4 games. Yeah, so 45 games I've bought this year.
Wow, dude.
I had 4 games before this year because I started PC gaming at the beginning of the year.
Damn. I mean, you're obviously got a huge uptick compared to me. I definitely don't have that many bought this year. But that's not to say I won't have that many or more by the end of the year. Crazy. Good stuff. Well, thank you, Yemi, for answering that over in the Discord. I mean, we also have nothing else. Nothing else, actually. That's
We're
it.
done.
We're done,
That's it.
guys.
I got a question
was-
for you
I-
guys.
I wanted to psych you out. Okay.
I have one question for you guys. Don't look this up.
Oh, God.
Dragon's Lair. We talked about it earlier. Remember? What year did it come out?
Jeez. If I was playing it when I was a kid, I want to say 1990.
19.
Is it really? Holy crap! I got it right.
No.
Really?
I'm just. No. No, you didn't get it right.
You psyched
I
me
was just,
out.
no, I was
so
just saying.
bad.
I was just repeating your answer. I'm sorry.
Okay. Damn, I got so excited. Okay,
I'm
go ahead,
sorry,
Carlos.
man.
It was on a computer. It was in arcades.
It was in arcades initially.
I'm gonna say 86.
83. It's a 42-year-old game,
Wow.
and you can get it
So I
on
was-
Steam for $9.99.
I was in the right track thinking older because I was like,
Yes.
I was trying to be strategic about it. I'm like, wait, if it was a computer disc and an arcade game, it had to be 80s.
Yeah, definitely 80s for sure. Early 80s, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Wow. It's funny. It's so crazy because of such an old game and us bringing it up during. It's just crazy that it got brought up, man. It's funny
Yeah, that
because
Hades just had such a similar look to it. Just like their animation just reminded me of it.
Absolutely. Cool. Well, I guess that's it, guys. It's time for us to wrap it up. Well, as we always say, we really do hope everyone who's listening did enjoy this episode. We hope it was valuable to you as well with all the new indies coming out in September. And if anything, we would love to hear from you over in our Discord. As always, like I say, go ahead and click the About section and click on the link to join the Discord wherever you're listening to this podcast. And maybe even throw in there what's the most amount of games and franchise IP, whatever it may be, that you own. We'd like to see that in there. I think it'd be curious for any of our listeners to put that in there besides the 3 of us and Yemi. I think that'd be cool. And other than that, we release episodes every Thursday at 5 a.m. Central Time, 6 a.m. Eastern. And until next time, we'll catch you later. Bye, guys.
That's a wrap.
See you later.